Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of The Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Southwest Virginia fishing report with Matt Reilly. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing great, Marvin. How are you?
I'm just trying to stay cool. I wish I could take advantage of that slightly higher elevation that you have there in Southwestern Virginia.
Yeah, man, it's not bad. I mean, it's what you get used to. I mean, it still feels hot, but we don't have 100 degrees or over 100 degree heat indexes here. I think our warmest day so far that I've been out has been like 94 degrees or something like that, which is pretty cool compared to what the guys are dealing with in the Piedmont. So it's not bad.
Absolutely. And so what are you seeing on the water?
Things have been pretty good. It's, I've been out just about every day here lately, smallmouth fishing, and it seems like numbers are better than they were last year for sure. Last year we just sort of had, for a variety of reasons, fishing was not spectacular for the most part, but we've been having some pretty good days and seeing a fair number of big fish just about every day we've been out. So it's been exciting. It's been good.
Got it. And so are you doing kind of topwater early and late and then having to go a little bit deeper during the day, main part of the day?
Not really. It depends on, conditions and what the stream flow trends are and stuff like that. But the last, I guess, 4 days that I've been out, we've just been rocking with topwater all day and never really slowing down. So it's that's the way I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. That take is just always amazing. Any suggestions for folks in terms of bugs and techniques?
I would say certainly, as it is pretty dang warm out there, and water temps reflect that. They're getting hot. Fish are not necessarily getting stressed, but it takes a lot out of them to chase down a meal. So particularly the bigger fish, and I think this goes just about all the time, but particularly when the water gets really, really warm, less is more. The less you can move a bug, the more appealing it is to a big fish that doesn't really want to have to expend all that much energy to go grab a bite to eat. So slow and same points as usual, looking for good cover and shade, particularly if you have a bright sunny day. Those are kind of my ideal conditions is bright sun and clear water in the summertime, because you've got fish have to find shade somehow, and they're either going to go up underneath of the trees in the shade line along the bank, which is great, and that's where a lot of their terrestrial food comes from, or they're going tight to cover or maybe deep, but yeah, those are the main things that I'm drilling day to day these days.
Got it. Any preference for kind of poppers or chuggers versus sliders?
Yeah, so I generally don't fish many true poppers. I fish some bugs that do have cupped faces on them, and I just don't do a lot of popping. When you deliver a topwater bug, that the splash down, the splat, the more audible, the better. And I just let bugs ride, dead drift for 10 or 12 seconds. And generally a fish is going to make a move on a bug after that initial splat. Now, if things are tough and you're not, the fish are in a mood and just not reacting well, then I will start playing around with some more aggressive retrieves and presentations, doing more popping and stuff like that. But for the most part, I like to splat and then just let it sit. That's you're trying to attract the fish off of that initial presentation.
Got it. And we've got a question from Lord of the Flies from Instagram. He wanted to get your recommendations on books geared towards beginning smallmouth anglers.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, the one that pops to mind immediately was probably the most recently published one by Dave Kursinski and Tim Landwehr up well, Dave is from Michigan, and Tim Landwehr and Tightline's uh, fly fishing company are in Wisconsin. But that's a fantastic book. I think it's just called Smallmouth, and it's it does what a good smallmouth book should do. It breaks down seasonal movements and important structure in a river and different I guess categories of flies for different situations and gear and all that kind of thing. It's got some interviews with some pretty solid guys, actually including Chuck Kraft, who's a Virginia local. And then the other book that I guess the only other one that pops to mind immediately would be Bob Clouser's book. I think it's just called Fly Fishing for Smallmouth or Stream Smallmouth or something like that. But that's a great book too. It's been around for a lot longer, but those two have pretty prominent positions on my bookshelf.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because I have the Smallmouth book by Tim Landwehr open here on my Amazon page because that's the most recent one I've read, and it is really well done. I mean, like you said, it's got Chuck, it's got Lefty, it's got Larry Dahlberg. I know Mike Schultz is in there. It's a pretty solid book, and folks, we love questions on the articulate fly, and if you'll send them to us, probably the best way to get them to us is to DM us on Facebook or Instagram. If we read your question, I'll send you some articulate fly swag, and you'll get entered into a drawing for some really cool stuff from Matt at the end of the season. And we've got to keep the string alive, Matt. You got to tell us what you're writing for the Rural Virginian that's going to pop out this week.
Yeah, man. So this week I think it's a timely article, but we're just talking about basically sun safety. How to be outside in the heat and the sun and UV exposure and all that, and not shorten your life unnecessarily and hurt yourself. So just a couple of considerations there, and that's something I write every summer because I think it's super important. There's a lot of fun to be had on the river right now, but you do need to take care of yourself. So I think that one's important.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing that when you say that, it makes me think about almost every summer when I'm out in Montana, you hear the old time guides basically showing each other where they got their skin cancers taken off because they didn't really think about covering up.
Yeah, that's not a contest you want to win.
Yeah. And the great thing is, compared to 30 or 40 years ago, the gear is so much better and it's so much more comfortable. There's really no excuse for not looking out for yourself.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, I'm just as bad as everybody else to remember to put sunscreen on and all that. But, I pretty much only buy long sleeve shirts and pants to fish in anymore in the summertime because it does most of the work for you, and you don't have to worry about sweating it off or washing it off or anything like that. And it's like you said, it's comfortable, it's breathable, it wicks moisture. It's not a pain to fish in.
Yeah, absolutely. And before I let you hop, because I know I think you told me you're at the beginning of a 14-day straight guide run. Why don't you let folks know where they can find you so they can maybe find one of those holes in your calendar during smallmouth season?
Yeah, my website is MattReillyFlyFishing.com, and all my contact info is on there. The busier I get, in the middle of the summer, emails are probably the preferred method of contact because popping in and out of service and just being busy, I lose track of voicemails that, don't have names attached to them and stuff like that. So email is preferred. I'm pretty good at staying on top of that. But however you feel best contacting me, or if you have questions or anything like that, I look forward to hearing from you.
Absolutely. And folks, we're getting into the really sweet spot of smallie season in the Southeast. You owe it to yourself to get out there and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Matt.
All right. Thanks, Marvin.